All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. All right, we're just a few weeks out from the return of J-Rock. Really looking forward to this fight, and let's talk about that and the upcoming fight, I hope, after this with Jermell Charlo. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, join, do all that good stuff. Thank you for the support on the Patreon. Thank you so much for your support in the live streams, Monday through Friday, and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday, where we wrap up the week in boxing. Okay, J-Rock, the comeback fighter of the year in 2019, with his victory in May over the unified champion, Jarrett Hurd. He's back. It seems like forever, man. Seems like forever. I was looking back. I went to BoxRec just to make sure before I did this video that J-Rock fight, the fight with Jarrett Hurd didn't happen in 2009. Didn't happen in 2018. It just feels so long ago. But you know, it wasn't that long ago. It was 8 months ago, which I think is maybe 2 months longer than, you know, I would hope that he would get in. But hey, man, you know, J-Rock is gonna make his first defense of those two titles against Jason Rosario. Jason Rosario, if you're not familiar who Jason Rosario is, he's fought on a bunch of PBC cards. The notable fights that he has had is against like Nathaniel Gallimore. He got knocked out by Nathaniel Gallimore, but in a very, very good fight, man. Okay, in a very, very good fight. I think that he was on par as a fighter. He's on par with Nathan Gallimore. He just got clipped, man. He got clipped in, I don't remember, it was the 9th round, something like that, but it was later on in the fight. He got clipped. He never really got his head clear. Jay Nady was the judge for the fight. And Jay Nady, man, that dude was just really, really aggressive judge. So, I mean, a referee wasn't really allowing him to hold. He didn't have time to clear his head, and Gallimore got up out of that. But earlier in the fight, he almost got Gallimore out of there. So hurt Gallimore really badly in maybe the 4th, the 5th round. No, it was actually probably earlier than that. 3rd or the 4th round, he really hurt Nathan Gallimore. So, and Nathan, like I said, Nathan Gallimore at that time was an up and coming fighter, very, very good fighter. Now I know Gallimore, you know, kind of really hit the skids of late. I think Nathan Gallimore might have lost the last 3 out of the 4 fights. Last 3 out of 4 fights. The last fight that he lost was against Erickson Lubin. So, you know, Nathan Gallimore, you know, kind of fell off a little bit. Rosario, on the other hand, I think he might have got a draw in between that time, but he's had different times where he's had several streaks of knockouts. So he's a guy with good power. He's a Dominican with good power. He's kind of a pressure fighter. He's got some defensive gaps that I see which led to him getting knocked out by Gallimore, that I do believe that J-Rock is going to take advantage of. J-Rock, I don't know if he's going to fight the same type of fight with Rosario that he had with with Jarrett Hurd, but you know, anyway it goes, man, the uppercuts, I think the uppercuts from Jarrett Hurd, those angle changes, overhand rights, you know, overhand to right, I can see him stopping this dude with you know, a combination of uppercuts and right hooks. Probably get this kid out of here, man, because he just, the way that he reacted to Gallimore knocking it, you know, the Gallimore shot and never really recovering from it, makes me wonder about this guy's chin. But if this kid actually had more of a durable chin, it would be a pressure-packed fight. The fight is going to be good to watch for sure. This guy is no wallflower, and neither is J-Rock. So I'm really looking forward to an exciting fight, but one where J-Rock, you know, where J-Rock walks out of there, you know, with the win, man. But then what I'm hoping, because this would be the first fight for J-Rock in 2020. I'm hoping that the next fight, man, we might as well get to it, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to Let's get to J-Rock. Let's get to J-Rock. Jermell Charlo, man. Let's cut to the chase, man. Let's get these 3 belts combined. And the 154-pound division, shout out to my man Nino Brown. Whenever I talk about the 154-pound division, I always gotta shout out my man Nino. Shout out my man Nino Brown boxing. If you're not familiar with Nino Brown boxing, go check out his channel. He like Mr. Boxing Today loves heavyweights. My man Nino Brown boxing absolutely loves the 154-pound division. J-Rock and Jermell Charlo, I think, man, that should be one of the biggest fights in 2020 as far as like really hardcore fans, right? Now, there's the other fights that are going to get more notoriety or whatever, but it's hard for me to envision a fight happening in 2020 that has 2 higher level fighters in a weight class fighting for 3 of the 4 belts, okay? You had one is going to be clearly Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, but in that scenario, you have a guy that I think is a little bit over the a little bit over the hump. Okay, the little guys, even though Vasily Lomachenko is what is he, 31 years old, something like that. I think both J-Rock and Jarrett Hurd are still in their 20s. I'd have to check to make sure, but I think that I'm pretty sure that they're both still, they're both in their 20s. J-Rock is 29 and Jarrett Hurd is the same age. Jermell Charlo is the same age as Canelo, so he's around 29 years old. So, but like with the Lomachenko thing, you have an older fighter and a really young fighter, right? So there's more of a gap there, right? Teofimo Lopez could either get beat because he's just not experienced enough, he doesn't have enough experience and hasn't seasoned enough to fight to beat Lomachenko, or Lomachenko, it could just be that day the Lomachenko, man, it's not there anymore, right? And it's not there against a monstrous puncher. He can get clipped, right? So that's just what extreme is going to take place. I either see in that fight an embarrassment. It's either going to be an embarrassment for one guy or an embarrassment for the other. Either Teofimo Lopez is going to knock Vasily Lomachenko out silly, or Vasily Lomachenko is going to ruin Teofimo Lopez and just beat him up, change angles, switch up on him, make him miss, do all kind of stuff to him, and just like, young boy, you ain't ready. The fight between Jermell Charlo and J-Rock, on the other hand, these are 2 guys that are both prime, both experienced, both prime. You have Jermell Charlo, who lost to Tony Harrison, came back and beat Tony Harrison, so he's going to be really focused and wanting to get his hands on those other 2 belts. J-Rock had been knocked out by Jermell Charlo, and he, and got knocked off his pedestal when he was one of the up-and-coming prospects looking to be another champion. People were really high on him, and then he got knocked out by Jermell Charlo, but then he overcame and beat up on J-Rock, beat up on Jarrett Hurd and got those 2 belts. So these guys both they both experienced winning the championships, and they've also experienced bitter defeats. They're still in their peak physical prime, and they're both experienced championship level fighters, right? So what more can you add? What more can you realistically ask for in a fight in 2020, right? Of course, there's an Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford fight, which ain't happening in 2020. So it's just what it is. Both parties know it's not going to happen. Acting like it's going to happen is really just, it's really going through a fairy tale, man. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford, who you going to fight? Errol Spence Jr., is it going to be Danny Garcia or is it going to be Manny Pacquiao? That's what that's about. This Jarrett Hurd, this J-Rock and Jermell Charlo, this is something that very well can happen. Neither one of these dudes going to shy away from that fight, man. Neither one of those guys are going to do it. You're not going to have, I don't believe you're going to have J-Rock, pull a Jarrett Hurd, because Jarrett Hurd was acting like he wanted it when he went and got Trout, went through Trout to get, I think he got one out of Trout, then he got one out of Lara. Both of those are older fighters, but difficult fighters to get past. But then when it came to Jermell Charlo, he wanted to get funny, and then he lost. Terrible. But Jermell Charlo wanted to get to J-Rock, excuse me, to all of these J's, Jermell, J-Rock, Jarrett, blah, 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 blah. You get my point. But anyway, these guys can make this fight happen. And this is a fight that needs to happen this year, man. I'm really hoping for it. But the first step is J-Rock get past this cat, Rosario. It ain't easy. It's something that is very doable, very probable for him. But the kid is coming to fight, man, and he's not just some scrub they pulled up off the street. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.